Good evening, and thank you for staying up late with us tonight. I'm Sarah Horbacewicz here with Corrales Ortiz. Now, you do get some good news for staying up with us, Corrales. I know the temperatures are finally going to start to cool down.
Yeah, so it's good news for those who actually enjoy some cooler temperatures.
Right.
But actually, we're going to be seeing some of the coolest temperatures not only of the season throughout the afternoon. It's going to be pretty cool, but our mornings, we could possibly be seeing some record lows later this week. But let's start with right now. We're still pretty mild. We still have like the high cloud cover. So once that begins to clear out tonight, we'll be dropping 70 degrees here in the metro, 66 in Conway. Same thing in Russellville in the 50s. To our north will be a lot cooler to our north compared to our south after that cloud cover recedes southward, dropping in the 40s and 50s tonight. A beautiful day in store, plenty of sunshine, highs in the mid 60s, a little bit chilly in the morning, but we'll be seeing some chillier mornings in store, especially late Monday night into your Tuesday morning. Already seeing some freeze warnings in effect for parts of the state. Some colder air in the forecast later this week. I'll have more on that just ahead.
We move now to Stuttgart, where police are investigating the death of a 27-year-old man. Arkansas State Police tell us the body of Dalton Smith was found in an alley near a home on South Grand. Authorities believe he was shot to death. Police have not named any suspects or said a motive in this killing. Smith's body was taken to the state crime lab, and we will share updates on this developing story as we receive them. Some sad news to report tonight, as well as the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff mourns the death of Chancellor Emeritus Dr. Lawrence A. Davis Jr. UAPB officials tell us Davis passed away yesterday at Jefferson Regional Medical Center over in Pine Bluff. Davis was one of the longest serving chancellors of any Arkansas university at the end of his 2-decade tenure that ended in 2012. He was 85 years old. Now to a story you told us that you care a lot about online. A Cleveland County community is breathing a sigh of relief tonight. This comes after a toddler was found safe last night after disappearing for several hours. Officials with Cleveland County Emergency Management confirm that the child was found shortly after 11 p.m. last night in a wooded clearing near Parker Loop and Friendship Cemetery Road in the Woodlawn community. Authorities began the search yesterday afternoon when family members first reported the boy missing. Hundreds of people helped search for this missing child, and he was found thirsty with a few scratches and bruises, but is now back with family and in good spirits. A Little Rock family is still searching for answers tonight. It's been a year since Harley McCourt disappeared. THV 11's Julissa Garza spent time with his family today and joins with their plea for answers.
October 2nd, 2021, Kim McCourt had plans to watch the Razorbacks with her son. Instead, she learned he disappeared. She still remembers every detail of that day.
I knew something was wrong, so I started searching everywhere. I looked closets, I looked beds, I done everything.
Since that October morning in 2021, Kim McCourt and her daughters Jessica and Brittany Crumpton have been searching everywhere for Harley.
We did this first search party. You know, we had to do all that ourselves. Organize it, get the people to come to search.
1 year later, the search effort continues. The family getting help Friday and Saturday from those who haven't given up.
The canine co-pollination came and done. This is the third time they've done a search. But with the rain coming, it kind of put an end to their efforts this time, and they said they would be back.
The family says they're thankful to the groups like this who continue to assist.
Sergeant King with the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office is one in charge of his case, and he's been great. He is actively working on it. I know for a fact it's not just become a cold case to him. It is something that he does work on.
Harley's home is still filled with his belongings right where he left them.
He did not take his cell phone, vehicle, nothing at all. Wallet, left his wallet. The wallet was here. Everything was right by his bed.
The family left with many unanswered questions.
Something's not right, and he didn't just get up and walk away and not ever be seen. I mean, it's just not. It's not him. Yeah, it's not him.
And with each passing day, Harley's sisters say being without their brother doesn't get any easier.
It feels like every day is the same. It really does. It's like, for me, it does anyways.
Yeah, I don't believe in the term time heals because that feeling hasn't changed.
Despite the unknown, the tight-knit family continues holding on to hope.
Whether we know in the end it's not probably going to be good, but we've got to bring him home to us.
The family has a $10,000 reward for any information that can help them find Harley. If you have any information, you're asked to call the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office. In studio, Julissa Garza, THV 11 News.
Thank you, Julissa. Now moving to national news, hundreds of tips helped authorities over in Stockton, California, zero in on a suspect in a series of deadly shootings that led to Saturday's arrest of a 43-year-old man. Christian Benavides has the latest on the man police suspect in the fatal shootings of 6 men who they believe was about to strike again.
With a suspect behind bars, Stockton police are now searching for a motive in a series of deadly shootings that put the Northern California city on edge for months.
Thank God we don't have another serial killer on the loose.
Makes me feel a whole lot better.
Saturday, authorities announced they arrested the 43-year-old suspect, Wesley Brownlee, as he drove through the city's streets armed with a handgun. Police say he was dressed in black with a mask around his neck.
We watched his patterns and determined early this morning he was on a mission to kill. He was out hunting.
Between early July and late September, Brownlee is suspected of ambushing and killing 5 men. All but one are Hispanic. During the manhunt, the mother of 35-year-old Paul Yaw spoke to CBS News about her son's death.
I don't know if we'll ever have closure because I'll never get to see my son again. Never get to tell him, that I love him again. I don't think there'll ever be enough justice.
As they searched last week, investigators released this grainy video of the suspect. They believe the same person was responsible for killing a man 70 miles away last year in Oakland and wounding a homeless woman in Stockton a week later. Ballistics tests and video evidence linked the crimes, according to police.
We will use every resource at our disposal to make sure the people of our city are protected.
Murder charges are expected to be announced Tuesday after Brownlee is arraigned. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
As we continue to see decades-high inflation, spending at retail stores is falling flat. According to the U.S. Commerce Department, spending on everyday goods, including food, gas, and cars, went unchanged at 0% last month. Economists were expecting at least a growth of 0.2%. This is a decline from August, when retail sales climbed 0.4%. And the September advance is not adjusted for inflation. That means that consumers may be spending the same, but they're getting less value for their money. Now over to the battle for Congress. With the midterms fast approaching, a new CBS poll out today shows that Republicans are still favored to capture the House with an estimated 224-seat majority. Democrats had been narrowing that gap, but that momentum has now stalled. Deborah Alfarone is in Washington with the details.
There's a lot in here that lowers the everyday cost for middle-class families.
President Biden is trying to convince voters his big legislative win, the Inflation Reduction Act, will bring prices down. But a new CBS News Battleground Tracker poll shows 65% of registered voters believe the economy is getting worse. And 68% of registered voters say the Biden administration could be doing more.
This is a top concern for all voters.
It's also a top concern for the president.
On Face the Nation, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg said curbing inflation is the president's top economic priority.
So it's a very clear choice, a very clear difference in approaches here right now on Capitol Hill and among office holders, where the focus for Democrats, the focus for the president, is to cut that cost of living and to cut the pressure, get people more breathing room at a time where inflation remains a major concern.
Another top concern for voters, gas prices. The new poll found 63% of people said prices are going up, compared to 16% in August. Republicans are pouncing on the price at the pump and blaming Democrats.
They're talking, bragging as if gas prices are lower. Gas prices are about 60% higher today than when Joe Biden took office.
The president has an action-packed week ahead of him on the campaign trail. He's heading to Pennsylvania, where he'll stump for Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman. At the White House, Deborah Alfarone, CBS News.
And we are 16 days away from the November 8th election. As we get closer, it begs the question, can our country ever come together politically? Tomorrow night, we're actually going to put that to the test. Craig O'Neill sits down with two politically opposed college students and will attempt to discover if there's any common ground in our country's future. Will there be fireworks? Will there be a hopeless stalemate? Will there be a cause for optimism? See what happens tomorrow night at 10 only on THV 11. And Halloween is almost here, and what better way to get ready than exploring some of Arkansas's haunted tales. In just 3 minutes, we're going to King Opera House in Van Buren, where a performer is said to still be putting on a show beyond the grave. Now, I know some spooky cold temperatures are also headed our way. Corrales, what's in the forecast?
Yeah, that's going to give you some chills, but not as chilly as the temperatures we'll be seeing these next few mornings this week. Already seeing some freeze warnings in effect. More details just ahead.